You ever feel like nothing good was ever gonna happen to you?
Yeah, and nothing did. So what? I'm alive, I'm surviving.
That's it. I don't want to just survive. It says in these movie writing books that every character has an arc. You understand? Like everybody starts out somewheres, and they do something gets done to them, changes their life. That's called their arc. Where's my arc? You see the arc? He starts down here. He ends up here. Where's my arc, Paulie? I got no identity. I mean, even Brendan Fallone's got an identity. He's dead. I killed that fucking email cola on nothing. I don't even move up a notch. All I got is nightmares. That Polish, Czechoslovak, whatever the fuck he is haunting me in my dreams every night.
Focus on right now, because that is all you've got. There isn't any past, there isn't any future. Now's it. Is it? When the sand's gone, it's gone. Now you see there's more sand in the bottom of the glass than there is in the top. Here, boom, I can turn it over. Now I got more sand in the top than the bottom. You can't do that with your life. I can do it with a sand timer, but I can't do it with my life. But I can be more effective now by making up my mind I'm going to be. And that's what I recommend you do. Don't waste your time. Do you know that everybody alive gets exactly the same amount of time we get all there is? It's what we do with it that makes the difference. Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking of what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're gonna figure it out.
You're gonna continue being out, because every day you wake up, like he says, not like get the coffee, make the pancakes, kiss the girl, kiss the kids. You wake up, right to work. Immediately your mind is in action. No one wants to do that. No one. And I don't blame them. But don't be mad when you're laying there in your fucking bed and you're in the fucking hospital and you're 70, 80, 90 years old and you're thinking, man, I feel like I didn't fucking do something. Because you did. You didn't do it. You didn't do shit. You may have lived a great life, man, but you're always gonna feel empty inside. I don't feel empty. So call me what you want. There's not one empty bone in my fucking body, because I have figured out that really the magic potion, at least to my life, and it's very rewarding.
You know what I hear? I hear the clock ticking. That's what I hear. And the end is nigh, and time waits for no man. And you young guns out there, 18 years old, 20 years old, 24 years old, listen. Life goes by, and it goes by quick. Don't waste those years. Don't waste them. Live them. Now, I know. I know that you don't think you're gonna live to be 30, much less 40, but you are, and you will. And the earlier you get in the game and get on track, the better life you're gonna have. Healthier, wealthier, stronger, smarter, better.
I was just honest. I was honest. Look at yourself, man. Look at yourself. And it was that day, in a couple of days after that, I just got real with myself. And every day I came home, I called the accountability mirror. What am I gonna do today to change what I see in this mirror? What am I gonna do today? And a lot of it was, I stopped sitting with the cool guys. I actually tucked my shirt in and went to school looking like, hey man, this is how I'm gonna look. If you don't like it, so be it. I had to really wear this layer of skin. I had to develop a really callous skin on me to take whatever you're gonna call me, you're gonna call me. Whatever I'm gonna be, you know, I wasn't a geek, but whoever I am, you're gonna see me. You're gonna see me for who I am, because I need to change who I'm not.
I know some people that waste hours playing little games on their phone. Games that are built and designed to release dopamine and keep you playing. and the games and the engineers. That's their focus. Same thing with the news feed. Right? What are the news feed doing? Constantly updating information on the big story. New big story that you need to stay up to date on. It's the big thing that's happening. You don't want to miss it. The news, so distracting. Doesn't even seem like they should be allowed to run so many stories because it's distracting you. And those game engineers shouldn't be able to design those games because they're distracting you.
A simple truth in life is things are not going to go your way. Things are not going to work out the way you planned. Things are not going to be the way that you wanted them to be. Part of it is suck it up, buttercup, get up, keep on going, dust yourself off, because everyone else you have looked up to has failed, myself included. And if they were able to move from setback to setback without losing steam, without losing the faith, then why can't you? Life is a series of seasons, sometimes setbacks, sometimes springboards. And the best is yet to come for he or she who continues to believe, and he or she who continues to put the work in.
You're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. I mean, God only knows what you are in the final analysis. You're blind to your own weaknesses, but you're also blind to your own strengths. And so then I think, well, if you got your act together, it'd be better for you, and instantly it would be better for your family, assuming they wanted you to get your act together, and not everyone does, and then it would be better for the community. It's like, how far could you take that? If you stopped wasting time, and if you stopped lying, and if you oriented yourself to the highest possible good that you could conceive of, and you committed to that, how much good could you do? Well, I would say, why don't you find out? So that's what I think you should do. You should find out. You don't have anything better to do. And there's nothing in it, as far as I've been able to tell, there's nothing in it but good.
And of course there's social media, there's Twitter, there's the gram, there's the Facebooky and Snapchat and TikTok. All 100% designed to lure you in and then keep you trapped in their little algorithm. So, those are some forces of distraction that we have to contend with. Powerful forces, by the way, designed by brilliant people that are making millions, billions of dollars to keep you distracted. That's their sole goal, is keeping you focused on that screen and not on your life.
The hardest thing in life, guys, isn't doing this stuff. Isn't going past your current levels of comfort, hitting new levels, getting knocked in your ass. That's not the hard part of life. The hard part of life is when you don't have the time to do this anymore, and you didn't achieve everything you wanted to do, and you look back on your life knowing there were pockets throughout your existence where you could have applied yourself. Now all that's left is you in a self-arrest, self-paralysis state, thinking, wow, I could have been great. Wow, I could have done something with my life. Now I'm stuck with this shithole of a life I'm in. Think of that. And you're in here hurting, man. And you're wondering, how do you go on? The better question is, how can you not go on?
A person's strengths are often their biggest weaknesses. And so that also means that their weaknesses can be their strengths. So, me, I am weak. In all those ways that I listed, I am weak. But I don't accept that. I don't accept that I am what I am and that is what I'm doomed to be. No, I don't accept that. I'm fighting.
Because everybody believes that at some point in time, they're going to turn it on, or some point in time, they're going to catch momentum, or some point in time, they're going to become what it is they want to become just by circumstance or by default or by breathing the air. That's not what it takes, bro. People who think that get to the end of their life and they're like, I wasted my life. Okay, that's what they end up thinking. And there's really nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of your life and saying, damn, dude, I didn't even really try. You know, and that's where you're headed if you don't go. So, you know, that's how you do it.
And if you're an old man like me and you haven't gotten on track yet, get on track. Get on it now. Everyone listening to this, here's the deal. No complacency. No complacency. No backing off. No slack whatsoever. Fight. Fight that ticking clock with everything you got. So, like the end of a hard day, you can put your head down with ease. Satisfied that you've given your best.
Hey, I don't care who you are, what race, what age, what gender. I don't care about any of that stuff. But what I do know is that you have a dream inside of you. And that dream you have kept hidden from the world. You've made excuses for it. You've delayed it. You've listened to people telling you to be realistic. But deep down in your heart, you know that you're not living to your potential. And life is now something you're just getting on with. I want to lay some reality on you real quick. Where is the wealthiest place in the world? Do you know? It's not China. It's not Dubai. It's the graveyard. Because in the graveyard, you will find inventions never invented, businesses never erected, songs never sung, books never written, ideas never nurtured, people never realized. Because they were scared to take a risk. Scared like you.
But also, things don't usually fall apart quickly either. At least at first, it's a slow process. A little slip here, a little setback over there, a little wearing down of discipline and will over time. That's the thing. Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention.
And I'm looking at myself in the mirror going like, God, dog, dude, you are something else, man. Like, you have created a character. I want to be at the cool guy table, and whatever I could do to get attention, I did. It wasn't me. It wasn't who I was inside, but I was scared for anybody to know who I was inside. So in that accountability mirror, I call it, I got real with myself. And I said, you have a third grade reading level, which is hard to admit when you're a junior in high school that you copied on every single thing you did because of fear they're gonna put me in a special school. We all know what special means. I'm gonna have a title on myself the rest of my life. And being cool, you don't have a title on yourself. So I started cheating. I was dumb.
I'm always fighting, I'm struggling, and I'm scrapping, and I'm kicking and clawing at those weaknesses to change them, to stop them. Some days I win. Some days I don't. But each and every day, I get back up and I move forward with my fist clenched toward the battle, toward the struggle. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome those weaknesses and those shortfalls and those flaws. As I strive to be just a little bit better today than I was yesterday.
Life is never going to be easy. It's never going to be quick. It's never going to be fast. You're always going to have obstacles. You're always going to have hardships. You're always going to be frustrated in certain things. you're going to have one great day for every 10 days that are hard. That's reality. And you're going to have to learn how to operate when things get hard. That's it. You know, most people spend their entire lives wishing shit was easy, wishing it was fair. It's not fucking fair. Wishing it was, you know, it would line up to be perfect for them. And because they're waiting for this and because it's never coming, they never go. And when they never go, they never become anything. And that's what leads to a wasted life. So you have to realize conditions are never going to be perfect. Things are always going to be hard. The only hope that you have is to become someone who can push through that hard regardless of what the is going on. And if you can build that level of discipline, that level of mental toughness to execute when things are not ideal, when things are extremely hard, nothing can stop you.
It's not the fault of the games or the news or the social media platforms and the algorithms. It's not their fault. There's only one person to blame, and that's you. They cannot make you look at their junk, at their feed, but you do it voluntarily. You click and scroll and look and get that little dopamine hit that they dole out to you over and over again, and you snort it up like an addict. And we're trying to blame them. Are they to blame for that? Are they? Are they to blame for our actions? I actually say no. We are to blame. I am to blame. We give them control when we click and scroll. We give up our time and our thoughts and our freedom.
Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me, but I talked to him about, hey, winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. People who find themselves having losses, not reaching what they want to create in their life, it's because they focused on winners. They focused on throwing shade at other people. They focused on comparing themselves to other people. So comparison is the thief of joy. Winners continue to focus on winning, and they continue to try to seek out wisdom. So Sudarshan, pat yourself on the back, and everybody else who has sent in a question today or even listening today, pat yourself on the back for trying to spend this time right now to gain wisdom. And maybe I haven't given you one lick of wisdom today. And if that's true, I am sorry, but maybe a couple things have resonated with you and you are spending this time trying to better yourself.
95% of the game, like I said before, is right up here, guys. If you guys fucking believe you can do this, you can eat fucking Twinkies and become the fucking man. I know there's no scientific evidence for that, guys, but I swear to you, obviously eating right, resting, have good cardio and everything else, all these things add up to equal weights and they're all very important, but none of them mean anything without the mental fucking state that today I'm no longer gonna be a fucking loser. Today I'm gonna change my fucking path. I'm gonna get on the path of success. I don't care how long that road is. I'm gonna see it through no matter what, because you know what? I've been living enough years in this shithole, I don't wanna be here anymore. I'm not happy with this. And I'm tired of making excuses. I'm tired of going through the same circle of motion of shit. I wanna be different. And last I looked, every single day I'm getting older, meaning I'm gonna get older, I'm running out of time.
And that accountability mirror just became raw. And when I became fat over the years, because I fell back in the hole, I called myself fat. Because I was fat. And people don't want to do that. They want to say, oh, don't call yourself fat. Don't call yourself dumb. If you're not real and raw with who the fuck you are, nothing's going to change. And in this nice new world that we live in, we want to hear, you're just a little big. No, man, you might be fat. And it's okay to hear that from yourself and from everybody else. So that's where it started at. And it's raw. It gets ugly sometimes with me in that mirror, but I'm also proud of myself to be able to tell myself that and then fix what's in that mirror.
We do not have to accept this. We don't have to bow down to these dopamine dealers, these thought thieves, these mind murderers. We don't have to accept it. Get control. Free your mind, stop scrolling, stop clicking, and start living.
And then you think, well, what's the barrier? And the barrier is, are you willing to accept the responsibility? And part of the answer to that is, reduce the damn responsibility until it's tolerable. You don't have to fix everything at once. You could just start by fixing the things that you could fix. Or you could even do it more. You could do it with even less self-sacrifice. You could start by fixing only the things that you want to fix. God, you can get a massive way that way. So do it. See what happens. That's what you should have been taught in university right from the beginning. It's like, aim at the highest good. Tool yourself into something that can attain it. And go out there and manifest it in the world. And everything that comes your way will be a blessing. And so all you have to do is give up your resentment and your hatred. I know that's a hard thing to give up.
But you want to know something else? You're not in the graveyard yet. And we get one life, right? And every passing moment, we will never get back again. You will never start this video with the same perspective you had when you click play. You will never brush your teeth the same way twice in your life. There ain't no rewind button on life. I will never get that breath back ever again. See, this present moment is so precious. We have to be here. We have to be in it and make the most of it. We have to live our dreams now because they are possible.
You know, I put this out the other day, and I think it's important. All right, so Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know that. Everyone hears that. But Rome also didn't fall apart overnight either. It took hundreds of years for Rome to reach its peak, but it also took time, hundreds of years, for Rome to decay and fall apart. And that is representative of life, because you don't achieve worthwhile goals quickly or easily. They take time.
We can have heaven right here, right now. Just a shift in this. Why not? Because somebody said it's impossible, it can't be done. I'll tell you this, there's never been a statue erected for a critic. Everybody tell you how to do it, they never did it. Moral of the story is, do you, be you, and be here now. Your dreams are possible. Stop obsessing over these celebrities, Kim Kardashian. Live your life. Step into your greatness. They say the average person dies at 25, but is buried at 75. You know what that means? Unless you figure it out. Don't let this negative world get to you. Don't let it win. Do not go where the path may lead, but go where there is no path and leave a trail.
You have to watch. You have to watch every single second. Because those seconds, they turn into minutes. And minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. And so, that second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second. And so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground.
When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked into it. That's what the storm is all about. When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is, right? They asked the elderly couple one day, they said, how have you guys been married for so long? He said, we come from a generation when something is broken, we don't throw it away, we fix it, right? And when you think about calm and happiness, it's not real calm and happiness in quietude when you can be happy in the midst of hardship. then you see the true potential of the mind. You think perspective, you think peace, and you think more so controlling how you respond to a situation.
Yep.
Right? It says that's where your power is. When you can't control what's happening, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is. Control what you can control. That's the first thing I go to.
It tests you and see how much of this you can take before you say, let's just be finished with this. You know what I mean? It wants to show you something. It wants to see how much you can take, how much you can handle of life. You say you love life, you want to live life. I'm going to show you life. Life is beautiful, but you have to accept the good and the bad as being beautiful. You can't accept the good, oh, this is beautiful. Then we lose somebody, oh, life sucks. Life is beautiful because life gave us the ability to just know them on our journey in life. We met them. We loved them. We cared about them. They cared about us. That's the purpose of life. Just to enjoy what we had, what we journeyed through it. Thank you. Yeah, my pleasure, brother.
No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
Life is not really long. Let's say the average person 30 years old. If you're 30 years old, you are not but about 7 years old. How can I prove it? Add up all the 7, 8, 9 hours you slept for 30 years. Out of 30 years, add up all the nights, last night when you went to bed and woke up this morning, you don't remember a thing. You've been unconscious for about 8 years. If you're 30 years old, you slept about 8 years. Okay. How much traveling have you done in 30 years? From the television station to home, to another country, to another city, to school, to church. You've probably traveled 2 years of your life and spent just getting back and forth to where you're going. So there's 8 years of sleeping, 2 years of traveling. There's 30 years out of your life before you accomplish anything.
Because sometimes we don't understand, like, what is this thing? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Why do I have to go through this pain? Why do I have to go through this fear all the time? Why can't it just be peaceful all the time? Then it wouldn't be life. You know, it wouldn't be life. We have to take life at its term, life on life terms, not our life on our terms. You know, we have to live life on life terms, not on our terms.
All right, in this moment, if it's going out of my way, if it's going out of control, if it's spinning out of, what can I control in this moment? I can control my attitude, I can control my words, I can control my perspective, I can control the lens of which I see it. What can I control in the moment when I can't control something externally, right? Because if I can control what I can control in the moment, what's happening externally is not gonna affect and impact my true potential and my true advancement as a person, which is the things that I can control when I'm viewing a situation, when I'm responding to a situation. Most importantly, can I use it?
Okay, 2 years of traveling, 8 years of sleeping, 3 years of school. How many movies have you went to? How many wrestling matches? How much entertainment? How many movie theaters, live plays, baseball games? Probably 2 years of entertainment. So by the time a man, you older people know I'm bear witness what I'm saying, by the time you have children, by the time you have made a way for your children, by the time you've paid for your home, you're pushing 60 years old. So life is real short. So you add up all your traveling, add up all your sleeping, add up all your school, add up all your entertainment, you've probably been half your life doing nothing. So what am I'm 35 years old, 30 more years, I'll be 65. We don't have no more influence. We can't do nothing much at 65. Your wife will tell you that.
you can work on micro habits with regards to your conscientiousness. And I think the best micro habits, this is partly to do with this future authoring program processes, I think the best thing you can do with regards to your conscientiousness is to set up some aims for yourself, goals that you actually value. And the future authoring program helps people do that. And basically it does a situational analysis of, it helps you do a situational analysis of your life more than a psychological analysis, I would say. And so the questions are something like, well, all right, you're going to have to put some effort into your life, and you need to be motivated to do that.
And it's so true. I mean, when you think about, like, I'm 54 years old right now, like that. I mean, it just fucking flew by. And you think when you're young that you have all this time. You have no time. There's no time. I mean, one of the quotes on the wall in the gym in there is, you know, there is no tomorrow, from Rocky 3. You know, there is no tomorrow. Fuck that shit. Let's get all this shit done today. I'm not afraid of death. Not even a little bit. I'm not afraid of it. I don't know if that'll be the case when I'm facing it. You know, when I'm looking down the barrel of it.
Yeah.
Laying in a hospital bed somewhere. My life is so fucking awesome. I don't even want to go to bed at night. I don't even want to go to sleep. I want to stay up. I wish I could fucking do 24 hours and never have to sleep. That's how much I love my life.
Changes over the long haul, and the way you have to look at it is if these two boats are going in a parallel direction and one of them just shifts 5 degrees. Over the course of time, this boat is going to be in a far different place than the other boat that's going the same way it was always going.
Yeah, and the important thing to realize as well is the next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not. I mean, we're sitting here right now at the end of February, and the next 10 months are going to go by whether somebody is working to make change or whether they're not. And they may think, you know, oh my God, I'm so far overweight, I'll never get it under control, or I'm so behind in my bills, or I'm so, you know, just depressed, or everything is so out of control. Well, you know what? You make those incremental changes, and then, you know, pretty soon in December you go, hey, I'm way better off than I was at the end of February. So you made little changes and they all added up. And if you don't, by the end of the year, you're just in deeper. So every little bit matters.
Driven human beings are going to always feel like they're behind. They're going to always feel like they're not doing good enough. They're going to always feel like they're not far enough. They're all going to always feel like you're losing. Look, winning, this is how it feels. 90% of the time, you're going to feel like you're getting your balls kicked in, all right? 8% of the time, you're going to be confused and you're frustrated. 2% of the time, you actually win. And those moments come and go, and then you're back in the 90%. And that's the reality of a winner's life. People don't understand that. They think it's all about cruising around in a cool car, having a free and happy and easy and go-lucky life. And that's not reality, because true winners are built for the fucking fight. They're built for the battle. They don't find peace and joy and happiness in the win. They find what they're looking for in the fight.
I said, this is my life. You are exactly who the fuck, this is it. And I said, this ain't gonna be it for me. So in that restaurant, I quit my job, left my canister in that restaurant, my spray canister, got back in my Ecolab truck, and I went home. And I started working out like somebody, I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. And I was basically, I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, be called nigger, be called whatever the fuck in the world, and be able to stand in the fucking room and say, go fuck yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. I built it through downright fucking just crushing myself. If it was raining outside at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta fucking go out there. Anything that was fucking horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it. And I started callousing my mind at this point in my life.
You're not going to win it. You're not going to score on every shot.
Right.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't take the shots. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try to hit the goal. But part of being able to continue to take shots is to have the strength of character to tolerate the fact that in that instance you weren't on top.
it's more trivial in games than it is in fights. And it's also, the response is much more negative to from the fans if you lose a fight and complain about it. It's ruthless because they understand that you've made a huge character error.
You're looking around and you think everybody else is like living their free and easy life. That's because that's what they're showing you on the internet. But I can assure you that anybody who's built anything real, anybody who's built anything significant, all right, these people live in a constant state of frustration and aggravation because they're so driven and they go so hard and they're so impatient that it actually wills the result into reality. All right, there's no high-level competitor that exists in the world out here that doesn't feel that way. If they tell you that, they're lying, all right, or they're not very good.
They're not a high-level competitor.
Right. So, like, dude, there's a fundamental misunderstanding about this. Enjoy where you are and be hungry for the next thing. Like, bro, I don't feel like that's the truth. The truth is, and people will judge this, people who are not ambitious and who are wired different, they judge this. They say, well, fuck, that's no way to live. Well, it's no way to live for you because you're not wired for it.
But what we do, people who are on the upper level, hearing the haters at the lower level, like I said, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. True statement. I started having fun with it. So I'll go through the comments while most people don't go through comments. I go through them intentionally, look for the bad ones. And while I'll block and delete you because the people on my page don't need that negative energy, I'll block and delete you, but I take a snapshot on my phone and I put it in the archive. So what happens is there's days where I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to do this today. And I'm like, oh, hang on. So I started making these mixtapes with all of these hate messages about people talking shit. And it became such a source of fuel that it was amazing because I know why you hate me.
What is life? What the fuck is your life? Are you happy with it? And if so, is just the intake and outtake of breath makes you put a smile on your face? That's something your fucking mother gave you. You haven't earned that. What have you done with your life to make it something else besides the normality of everybody else? The intake and the outtake of what you call life is nothing more than time. And unless done something with, it's forgotten about. There's no footprint of your existence left for anyone else to follow. Life is time. And a life that's remembered, where a footprint is followed behind in footsteps of inspiration and motivation, is when time is met with opportunity and action. They collide to be a life of remembrance. The problem is, most people don't have a plan. And without a plan of your own life, you become the plan of someone else's life. You're not running the day. The day's running you.
It's about winning. It's about being the best. It's about doing something other people can't do or haven't done or don't have the balls to do. It's a different game. See, people who think it's about money and success and cars and houses, they get it confused. Because shit's cool. I like that shit. That's part of my life. But that's not why I do this. It has nothing to do with it, actually. I don't really give a fuck. In fact, I drive home to probably one of the coolest houses in the whole country, maybe even the whole world, with one of the coolest car collections in the world for sure, and one of the coolest headquarters of one of the coolest companies that exists on the fucking planet every single day. That's my life. And I'm highly dissatisfied with it. Okay, not because...
That's gonna go.
Huh?
That's deep, man.
Yeah, not because I want more, but because I recognize that I'm not even close to the best. I'm not close, like, dude, yeah, I've provided income, created jobs, I've done all that shit, but like, bro, there's so many people that are so much better than me and have done so much more than me, and that's the game I've chosen to play, and I've dedicated my life to it, and I intend to fucking win it.
You hate me because you're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. So I make you question everything about yourself. So I'm going to continue making you question yourself by coming out here and being even more successful. So I listen to that while I run. I sometimes play it in the house, and it sometimes gets on Jennifer's fucking nerves because I'm sitting and listening to somebody talk mad shit on a loop about me. And she's like, why do you do this? It's half comical and it's half inspiring. I'm actually inspired by it.
The differential between those people is belief. One person with belief overrides 100 people with just intent. Intent is thought process, thinking, wargaming it, never putting a foot forward, never putting their face or their name to the fire. Belief is going after and figuring it out along the way. This workout is going to bring that belief back in your life. It's a back workout. And after this workout, not only will you have a stronger back, you have belief and confidence put into action. Life. No longer is your life filled with stop signs and yield signs and halts and this shit and fucking unauthorized motherfucking signs. Life begins now. If it doesn't begin now, your life is fucking over.
You gotta start believing in your imagination. You gotta start talking to him about these stuff you be seeing. But you have not cause you ask not. So if you see the vision, the imagination, but you don't ask God for it, what you want him to do? He showed it to you. Faith without works is dead. So now you got to put in work. All of y'all sitting in here, you want a better life, correct? Haven't you imagined a better life? Okay, who you think he showed it to? He showed it to you. Why you think he showed it to you? Because he want to give it to you. But if you don't work, if you don't ask him for it, he cannot give it to you because he created us with the power of choice. We make choices every day. If you decide that you will be poor, there's nothing I can do. You're gonna be poor.
Some people aren't wired to live like that. In fact, most people aren't. In fact, it's less than 1% of the actual population. That's why the 1% is the 1%, all right? So you have to understand, if you're out there building something, whether it be an athletic career, a professional career, physique, a business, whatever it is you're building, you're gonna spend most of your time feeling frustrated. You're gonna feel most of the time like you're losing. You're gonna feel like most of the time you're getting your ass kicked. And then some good stuff's gonna happen, all right? But then after the good stuff happens, you're gonna automatically flip your brain over to what's next, all right? And then the process starts over again. And we can observe this in championship caliber people.
And I started realizing through this process that the fucking mind is what you created. And I started opening different doors that I didn't think were even there, that I didn't think even existed. And the more doors I opened up, the more I started realizing that my potential is damn near endless. And it changed my whole mindset. So I went from David Goggins and I created Goggins. And that journey is a priceless journey that is hard for me to even explain to people because it sounds so quick and easy. Like I lost this weight and I went through 3 hell weeks, I went to Ranger School, went to Delta Force Selection, whatever it is. It was brutal. It's a brutal journey every fucking day. And everybody goes, well, are you happy? If anybody knows my life story, and I'll try to give you just a snippet of it, where I'm at today is in front of Joe Rogan telling you my life. To get through where I became, to get through where I'm at now.
The difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline and accountability.
Yeah, accountability is gigantic.
You got to have somebody, whether it's yourself or a friend or somebody that's going to say, look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because, I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there. And then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Right? Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when it says don't be pushed by your problems are a part of the journey. Opposition are a part of the journey, right? Adversity is a part of the journey. Like it's all a part of development and growth as a person. And so when you got dreams and you got problems, I look at it as it's interconnected, right? You got your dream, you got your goal, you got your aspirations. Problems are gonna happen along the way. Conflict is gonna happen along the way. Uncertainty is gonna happen along the way. But the thing that's important is putting things in place to fight it, right? Whether it be people, situation, routines, whatever the case may be, when you encounter problems, situation, circumstances that don't unfold the way you want it to, what do you have in place to counter the conflict, right? It's like when they tell you stay away from negative people, they got a problem for every solution.
Wait another 1,000 years before you get the next grain. Keep that up until there's no more sand in the desert. Whew. You know how long America's not but 200 years old. We got 800 more years to go before 1,000. So it just scares me to think that I'm gonna die one day and go to hell. I'm on an airplane that might blow up. I'm always traveling. And to go to hell and God is gonna judge my soul. The police, I might kill people, I might rob people. The authorities might not catch me. The FBI, Scotland Yard might not catch me. But when I die, somebody's watching me and keeping count, and I can't get away, and I'm gonna burn forever and ever and ever. I'll go to heaven. So what am I gonna do when I'm through fighting? I only have 16 years to be productive, get myself ready to meet God and go to the best place.